then.
And we'll in a world of legendary moments will be captured. So stand up, scream, and make sure the boys feel you.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
There it is. I'm like, I hit the wrong button. What's going on, Cowboy Nation? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil, and like always, man, we got our co-host, Gametime Bryan, but not like always, we are having a Thanksgiving special here, talking about two games. Of course, that we didn't get to cover the post-game of the Carolina Panthers game, and of course, the pre-game for the Washington Dallas game. So, Gametime, are you ready to do this thing, man? Thanksgiving right around the corner. I'm hungry, man.
I am ready to do it. I'm running on fumes, but that's how it always is around the holidays, right? We go. We do this, we do that. We got a lively crowd in already, but yes, I am ready to roll. Gonna probably get a little bit of sleep, but that's a good thing, right?
Oh, definitely. Gotta prepare for tomorrow. Man, I got plans, and we were talking about it. We were talking about what we're going to be doing with our meats. And
meats.
Yeah, and I'm just ready to eat, man. I'm already kind of wanting that afternoon game to happen. Of course, you know, Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. Of course, the first game being the Detroit game. There was rumor that I heard there was a possible morning game, but I'm not. That's not correct, right?
It is not correct.
Okay. So it's going to be the nighttime, evening type of games going on.
Glimmer Man, right? I love it.
When I look in here, obviously this game happening on a Thursday kind of changed up our whole our approach to how we're going to present it in general, man. I think what's funny is I was telling Bryan, just not even around 4 o'clock, I started doing the thumbnail. About 5 o'clock, I started doing this overlay, and it took me about 40 minutes or so. And I came up with this little ditty really here, and I just really wanted to say thank you for everybody. I mean, that's what I'm really thankful for, is the content that we're able to put out, the subjects matter that we're given, and it's just something like when I was making the YouTube content, and they were like, the biggest thing is to find something that you don't lose the content. There's always fresh content going out there. And damn, with the drama in the media, the Cowboys in general, and the front office, there's definitely a lot of content out there. But I think the biggest thing that you cannot come up with is, of course, the fans that follow. And just we talk football, man. It's a lot of it, whether we're Cowboy content creators. We are talking football, and we try to not have a biased opinion about stuff. Sometimes it's hard to. But here we are. We're about to give you a nice one. Before we go to the Washington game, though, Bryan, let's talk about this Panther game that just happened. An impressive win. We were there, obviously. You got to kind of give your feedback on it. What's your overall thought of that game and the Cowboys coming out of it,
Yeah, my opinion, it's what I expected. It's what they needed to do. Was it perfect? No. But it's fine. We needed to get out of that game injury-free, and we'll get to that because we do have some injury news. Well, I'll discuss it. Jaron Kearse is doubtful for tomorrow. I'll just get into that. So we obviously suffered something where his back is bothering him. He won't be playing tomorrow. But other than that, it seems like all
that's good news. That's definitely good news for them, because I think their tight end could have a big day, especially with a guy like Kearse being out of the lineup. I like Wanye Thomas coming in and possibly being that guy. But of course, Logan Thomas, he's 6'6", big tight end. So I mean, you need a guy that's a playmaker that can, even if he's being able to jump up there. That's why Kearse was that really good matchup, because he's tall, lanky, and definitely knows how to handle some tight ends. We got some really good ones in this division. So I think it kind of reminds me of the defensive tackle position, because each team has somebody at that position that can do damage if the quarterback can get them the ball. You hit the nail right on the head in that sense of that matchup right there. That's a big key thing. I think another thing that they do well is, of course, run the ball. But that's just something they don't do. It's like they do it well, but they get away from it. They're,
Yeah, I mean, but getting back to the Carolina.
Sorry. I went on another one.
We all kind of nailed it. We were all kind of, the score predictions. It wasn't overly exciting. It was effective. It was never in doubt. There was never a doubt of winning the game, but it was just, how were you going to move the ball? How were you going to stop? All in all, I think it was exactly what it needed to be. Again, was it perfect? No, and we could talk about that later. It's in the books. We got the W. We move on to tomorrow, and we're going to get into a lot of that game and other games that's upcoming this week. We could even touch on the Eagles win the other night.
That was
I
a
live
good win.
streamed the game.
Really good win.
It
happens. Things happen. But a good win.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah,
it is. Everybody's all mad about the Eagles, and it's like, listen, they are winning games. Are they looking great? No, they don't have to look.
They don't
great.
have to. Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't lose. The Eagles haven't, other than the Jets, the team that they had never lost to in their history in the regular season, they lose to. Yet they're winning ugly games. They're not looking great on defense at times, even though they shut out the opponent in an ugly weather game. Let's face it. But so we're trailing the Eagles. Okay, we only have to look in the mirror, people. We're like, the reason why we're trailing anybody is because we lost to the Arizona freaking Cardinals. That game alone is like the killer. Even if you lost, I said we're going to split in Philly, with Philly, and even I had us losing at San Fran. So even if we just won the Arizona game, we beat the Eagles. Now the tiebreakers are way different, and we're right there. We're tied with them. So we only have ourselves to blame for that.
I agree. Definitely agree.
But there's plenty of football left, and everybody's holding their head. We're good. We're still healthy for the most part. The emergence of Deron Bland, he just was named the Defensive Player of the Week. I mean, come on, man. Just be excited about the future with Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
Come on.
When I look at this offense, my question mark going into the Panthers game was, how was this offense going to move the ball? We saw what their weakness was, but they had a really good secondary. Not as great when it comes to running the ball against them. But Dallas didn't really do that really well. I mean, they had their moments. Tony Pollard, here, there. But there wasn't this whole breakout game that I was hoping for them, but they kind of they didn't play into that game plan. It's like they came up with their own little other game plan, and of course Dak didn't tear them up, but he was able to move the ball down the field, and that's what I'm wondering. When you're playing against a team that has a really good secondary or has a good defense to the front, how are you attacking them, and what are you adjusting to? And the game was obviously what we said it was going to be. There was going to be points where Carolina was going to keep this game close, and then at the end, Dallas was going to take over. I'm not surprised by that. The teams that we've been, blowing out in these ways, you can point out that they don't have a record over 500. You got to point that out. But when I look at the battles that are in between, so of course I wasn't looking at Carolina going, oh man, we're going to blow them out. No, I'm looking at how are we going to move the ball against their defense. I told him, I was like, he had the other camera on. I was like, I'm gonna need you to move over,
I'm
man.
Freaking looking at it. I'm like, fucking, I can't see me. All right, I don't know where to go. I don't want to look at it now. Now I'm all whacked out.
You got to go to your left. There you go.
Over here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't have to. You're good there. You just bring your camera down, aim it down, or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but I thought it was a really good team game. You use the running game to counter what we've been saying all along is that this team needs to pass the ball in order to set up the run. Where I thought this was the one time that they were going to be able to run the ball to set up the pass, and they just went away with it. It's just funny. Like the first 2 plays of the game were not running up the middle type of plays. They were passing ones against a team that normally can give up stuff running. So it was just funny. You know, his game plan is kind of opposite than what the analytics say he should do. So
Agreed. Sorry, I'm messing with the camera here.
No. Sorry about that. I got a long-winded thing, but I want to move over to the Washington game.
Big ass pumpkin in my way.
Yeah, sorry, man. It's part of the graphics. You got to deal with it.
I'm
man.
I'm like the chick in Dirty Dancing who carried a watermelon. You know, I carried a pumpkin. What's up, Brad Harrod? Look, let's get to the chat here. I'll read them off real quick. I know you were. It's very lively tonight. We got Lord Nova was in the house. Roland's reviews. How are you, Stacy? You got Twiz in the house coming off a big win. Lord Nova, right there. You're putting him back in his place. I like that. We got JoJo in the house. We got Jeff Lee, my man Jeff. My man Brad Harris. What's up, Brad? Who am I? Loyal Cowboy. What up, man? Loyal Cowboy. He's going to over some friends tomorrow to spend the Thanksgiving. I hope he has a wonderful day. Hamid, our wrenchless Eagles fan. What's up, my man? Let's see who else. Glimmer Man. What's up? Crystal Caramel Corn. Bobby Murphy. What up, Bobby? I think that's everybody. I think. Who did I miss? David Cowboy. What's up, David? How are you, my man? You got David. You got Philly D in the house. What up, man? You guys aren't out hitting the town?
Yeah, the pre-Thanksgiving.
This is like the busiest night of the year, right? The bar night, anyway.
I would say the next one isn't getting ready for the Black Friday type stuff. I'm just happy that they've extended stuff and it's not as crazy as it used to be.
What up, Lady Libra? Angelica, what's that?
When we look at this matchup between these two teams, I mean, you got to put the records to the side. I think these are always tough games. Washington likes to fight with teams. They always try to bring their best. They can play the spoiler right now, and Dallas, of course, can always give up that game to the spoiler team. Oh, we needed this win for the division stuff, and they this one will come back to haunt you. So when I look at the overall talent between the two teams, Dallas is so much overpowering Washington that even down to the coaching staff, I think the only way that they get better is obviously going to be through their future, the picks that they're going to have available to them. But their secondary, I think their secondary, let's start talking about their defense. Their secondary has issues. Their defensive front is what's kind of masking any kind of thing with their secondary. But teams are able to kind of move the ball at will. You have two guys that are pretty scrappy over there on the other side, but teams are moving the ball. Yeah, I told you. The teams are moving the ball against them. So what do you think about Washington's defense? If you had to give up a good thing, positive stuff, and then, of course, they're negative?
Washington's defense, I like their secondary, believe it or not. Like me and you talked about, they may not be as talented without Sweat and without a Chase, but they're playing more cohesive. Now, you would never have known that by looking at last week's game. So I don't know what to get from them, but I would say that the Commanders are a team that you need to put away early. Don't give them any air to breathe, and you should be fine. This is a game, everybody. This is not a game that I'm looking at saying, oh, my God. We're expected to win this game. Like Parcells always said, the season doesn't start till after Thanksgiving. You want to be a contender, you got to win in December.
I used to be somebody. I used to be a contender.
So, to me, our season starts next Thursday. If we lose tomorrow, then we can't worry about the Eagles or anybody else. If we lose to Sam Howell and the Commanders, who got toasted at home against the Giants, then
we got issues.
We got bigger issues than I thought.
Yep.
So I think we're going to be fine. Let's just get a dub. I'm predicting a good one, though. I do. I'm telling you now. You're going to see some fireworks tomorrow, but I'm not worried about it at all. I think we're dominant at home right now, and I think our season starts next week because I really think that Seattle's going to. We'll touch on that game later, but yeah. So we got our hands full next week. I'm just telling you. So
when I look at this Washington team, I look offensively. Of course, you look at how his first year actually being named the starter, going in there. It's I don't know. I don't know if Ron Rivera is more like, I don't look at him thinking that he is the problem. He's getting the ball to the receivers. There's the ones dropping it on 3rd and 4th down. The line is like on the left side of that offensive line is just atrocious. And they love to pass the ball. They can run the ball, but they love to pass. They're like first in the league when it comes to attempts, and so I don't know whether it's because you're behind or it's but most of the time, even when they are ahead they just pass. They love to pass, and it's just not. It doesn't bode well against this Dallas Cowboys team that if you are a passing team or you're having to pass because you're behind, that's when this team eats. So I question what's going to happen tomorrow for this Washington team because, of course, I do see mismatches that they can take advantage of, but they're going to have to kind of change their philosophy a little bit. They're going to have to run the ball because I think they can do that and be successful against this Cowboys defense. In the tight end is going to be your matchup with Curse being out of the lineup. It's just who are you going to put there to cover, and this is a very tall tight end, and if going beyond him, this is questionable. But that's going to be your main thing on offense. But it's just, are you going to be able to give Sam Howell time against this Dallas defense to do anything?
Yeah, that's where I think we score, and then we attack Sam Howell. Sam Howell has been sacked a league high 51 times. Mm-hmm. So, and he's been sacked 51 times already. So Mike is going to get another 2 sacks. But it all starts where it's going to – this is how it's going to be this year, people. Everything is going to start with our offense. We have to score touchdowns. If we can get into the end zone, that's going to help our cause. And I know that's a stupid statement, but for us, I don't think we have the type of team that you want to have to come back from. Plus, our defense plays better, like most defenses, with a lead. So we want to be able to make you one-dimensional and to attack a team and a quarterback like Sam Howell. So, I like that matchup. I think we get to Sam Howell. I think we get turnovers. I think Deron Bland gets another one. I'm excited about the game. I'm not worried about this game one iota.
Yeah, normally Washington does give us problems on Thanksgiving, but again, this year's different. There's a lot of differences, and again, we still have to prove it against teams that mean something. But when you look at these matchups, these are the ones you have to, because if you don't, there's a lot of question marks when you have to actually do play really good teams, and the games are very, very close. You show that trouble in the beginning of the season, not being able to score in the red zone. You change it up and let Dak kind of control the offense more, which we thought really honestly was going to be from the bat, but. When you get your wide receivers and your quarterback on the same page, that's huge as well too. Can they get the running game going? That's my question. Yeah. Before the end of the season, can they get the running game going?
Yeah, I think it gets going. To me, it's been getting a little better each week. I think that tomorrow, I think the Pollard gets us 100 yards. I really do. Loyal Cowboy has the key to the game now. The key to the game tomorrow is Dolly Parton singing at halftime. So, come on now, Dolly. What are we gonna hear? I saw mommy kissing. Oh, sorry. Is that what we're gonna do? Is that where we're going with this, Loyal? Is that what you want to see? 9 to 5. Go ahead, Loyal, sing it. Go ahead, Phil. What do you got?
No, I was gonna say, maybe if she would have only done 10 to 5, that way it would have been set a different standard for us. We wouldn't have had to go in as early.
1 to 5.
I don't know. Come on, Dolly. Why'd you have to say it that way? Now it's like a standard.
Santa Claus. Oh, sorry. But yeah, so Dolly Parton at halftime. We got that to look forward to. if that's up your boat.
Yeah. Yeah. The special teams where I think
just-
I want to. I feel something like that. Turpin
He's
can
gonna
do
be in the
something.
kettle.
There's going to be something. Yeah, there's something there. Just the way that this defense, even if they don't get turnovers, I think there's going to be a lot of situations where they're going to be punting to the ball, and I think that's when you have. I mean, you give
Turpin time.
You give me 10, punts to Turpin. What happens in the 10 out of he can bust 2 out of 10. I could see something there with Turpin as well. I'm interested to see what happens exactly because, of course, rivalry games, division games, they can go turn another way. We all have that problem with those teams that are very, very bad, but when they play you, man, that's their Super Bowl, and they want to play spoiler. And I think this is one of those teams that likes to play that. It's just they've come up short a lot when it comes to the finishing it off,
Yeah, totally agreed. Is she sleeping already? Is she sleeping? Oh, jeez, my wife's passed out. She's been up running. But yes, I agree. I like it. I like the whole matchup. I don't think we get out unscathed. I think they score.
Yeah,
I
so
do
too.
think Watson's going to score. I just, but I said this at the beginning of the week. I think there's a good chance that after this game, Ron Rivera is let go. I think you're going to hear a headline. I think the timing is right for it. They need a change. You lost to Giants at home. That's all you need to know.
You suck, you jackass.
Yeah, jackass. Exactly. I just think that I think we're going to score a lot of points tomorrow.
I think so too.
I think we're going to score a lot.
And in the beginning, I was thinking, okay, like in the beginning of the week, I'm feeling it, kind of like, okay, it's going to be, I say the beginning of the week is like halfway through the week. So like 3 days ago, I was like, okay, I think it's going to be kind of a closer game. But then as I'm looking at both sides, seeing, the film on them, this is, I have to change it. I have to kind of change what I'm feeling, obviously, to adapt to it.
Yeah.
Each team kind of changes, and depending on depending on some of the stuff that they're fighting for. Are they fighting for a job? Are they fighting for a job somewhere else? Washington has a lot to change, not just their name. They have to change a lot within their organization. They have to change a lot within their coaching, philosophies, because you bring over a coach that he knows. He was a previous running back, so I mean he knows that they need to run this ball. And he goes out there and he just pass, and just kind of put Howell in a position that's not really good, especially against a defense like ours. So again, I could they went and got 7 sacks. I'm not saying that the Carolina Panthers offense was line was terrible, but they weren't that bad. So the fact that they got 7 sacks, I'm very interested to see what they do, because this offensive line, it struggles picking up stuff. And if you're stunting like the Dallas Cowboys love to do, they are going to have so much problems with that. And I can see a big day for some of these guys. So I mean, hey, that's some time to get some backups in there as well to see what you have in the rotation. So
yeah.
Speaking of that, there was a release today, or was there a release? There's
yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Yes, exactly. So I have to ask you, man, would it be a smart move to pick up a veteran like that going into a push?
He cleared waivers.
So he did. Okay.
He cleared waivers, so he's free to sign with anybody. So that tells you nobody wanted him for that 6. Like I think Philly D said it earlier on my live. Nobody wanted him for that. $6 million a cap hit, but now they'll bring him in. It's curious to see where he goes. You would think he would want to be for a contender. I
think there's a good chance one of the two. So I think
Philly.
I could see Philly or Cowboys. I could definitely see those two. If Philly is, I think is a good spot because they need linebacker help. And right now with the record, I think that might be a very enticing thing for him. So hopefully we can steal him and get them.
Puppies too.
Puppies. But yeah, I think that would be a great veteran move. It's past the deadline. That's a hard thing to do. To get a guy like that with veteran leadership, at some point, wasn't he like a 3-time Pro Bowler? He has some stuff. I mean, he's lost a step and, not as quick. But, man, when you're talking about being able to help stop the running game, I think that's a guy like that would really, really help. We'll see where, I'm interested to see where he ends up, because there's a lot of teams right now that could use that help. I think it's just, do they only sign him for the 1 year and kind of he's open into the market next year? So there's a lot there. Damone Clark, he's doing a lot. Cowboys Mafia, he's doing a lot better, man. He's getting involved. He's getting in there. Just he's causing people to go different directions. So he's plugging up the holes very well, moving very well. It's just definitely an improvement by Clark, because he kind of got lost
last week.
Yeah, an amazing job last week. Even like Lawrence, I mean, where I kind of highlighted him prior to the game, he really stepped up. He was in the running game and just getting in there to kind of help cause some of the sacks. Man, I was very impressed by the different individual battles. So, of course, you got to imagine, again, who are you facing? You can only face the teams that you're scheduled to go against. It's just, I'm interested to, all this means nothing to me until those tougher games, because at the end of our schedule, that's where the tougher games, but you need to handle these games in order to go forward. So, Bryan.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bobby Murphy says Adam Schefter reported both Eagles and Cowboys are interested in Leonard. Yeah, I think they're both interested.
That makes sense.
But we shall see. Brad Harris, me and Brad are the same with Nick Sirianni. Sirianni would be better if he kept his mouth shut and just coached, yelling at fans. Yeah, did you see what happened? He was yelling at the fans after the game.
But right when he's about to go into the tunnel, see, this is what I'm talking about.
He's a tough guy.
He's a tough guy only when he's about to disappear. Like, he'll yell it real quick and run. Like, it's just, that's the part where it's just like, dude, just if you're gonna be that way, just be that way. It's just
when
like,
he wears a Beat Dallas t-shirt in practice all week and then gets his ass kicked on Sunday like he did a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden he apologizes, but deep down he just wants to be a dick. All right, be a dick, buddy. That's bad karma. Bad karma.
You want to predict through the NFL, or are we just going to go ahead?
Yeah, I want to get to the games, especially starting with tomorrow. We get people paid. I'll come to Butthead. Hey, Davis. Anyway, yes, let's get into the weekend football. We will start out with, obviously, tomorrow at 12:30 at Ford Field. I wish it was the old school Chicago at Detroit, but it's Green Bay, who's really not good this year. Actually, what I want to do, I want to pull up something real quick. Actually, I'll go to here while I'm doing it. Bear with me, people. Let's see.
And we're going to have a Friday game, too. Tomorrow's our first Friday game as well. I mean, that Friday.
Correct. So we'll go with... why is it only giving me...
Aaron Jones is doubtful.
Okay, so here we go. All right, we got the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions are a 7.5-point favorite at home against the Packers. The Packers are 4-6. They're 4-6. This is where I think, me personally, I think Detroit rolls tomorrow.
I think so too.
Yeah, I do. I think they roll.
Like, I want to give Green Bay the spoiler. I'm like,
okay,
well, maybe they'll play it tough and everything because of a rival. I just think Detroit's just too talented of a team to get bogged down by any of that.
Yeah, I agree. Loyal says Lions by 14, Dallas by 10, San Fran by 7. I think we win by 20, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'll take the Lions. We'll both go with the Lions. So we move on to the next game. We'll save this one obviously for last. But the Thursday night game is the Seattle Seahawks at home plus a touchdown. Now, I don't know if the quarterback has been ruled out as of yet. Do you know that, Phil?
No, I haven't heard.
Yeah, I heard he was questionable, game time decision type of deal. I don't think it matters. I think the 49ers win the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately,
if he doesn't play, it's even worse because then they're going to get massacred there. So, yeah.
Well, and like what I worry about is that following week, Seattle's 6-4. So this is a game I had Seattle winning, but if he plays, then they could win. I mean, I do think the Seattle can win. So I'll couch it by saying if the quarterback plays, I would take the points. If he don't play, you gotta just lay the points. Let's see the backup
Cowboy,
quarterback for Seattle beating San Fran.
So the Friday game. So the Friday game at 3 p.m. It shows you got Miami versus the New York Jets.
Benito a Miami at New York. New York is a 9.5-point favorite.
What?
Underdog.
Okay, I'm about to say
New York is a 9.5-point underdog at home. Like,
I'm like, that? What the hell happened?
Yeah, they they put Zach Wilson and they made him number 3. They didn't even make him the backup. He's the third string. I guess you're just giving up on the season at this point. The record is the Jets are 4-6, so they're 3 games behind Miami. So I guess they're rolling it. I guess they're packing it in unless they're good. You trust some dude named Boyle. I don't know. Never trust a Boyle, but I don't know. No offense to the Boyles out there that are watching this, but what do you think, man? I'm gonna.
I
give me the Dolphins.
I gotta give the Dolphins. Yeah. It's just Dolphins have looked sluggish more recently, so that's my question mark. But I don't think New York's offense has done anything that would make me question. Even if Miami stumbles, they'll still somehow pull that victory out because it's just not a good matchup for them.
Next game on the list is an intriguing one because of Eastside Harold. Eastside Harold's Houston Texans at home getting a 1.5 against the disgruntled and embarrassed Jacksonville Jaguars. Houston at home getting a 1.5 against the Jags.
Man, I would have to probably give it to Houston. Just because, you're not going to go with that. But just because I feel, C.J. Stroud a little bit more, I don't know, man. These are the matchups, these young quarterbacks, Lawrence versus Stroud. This is going to be something for a couple of years now. So I'm interested to see this beginning early matchup. I think this could be an Achilles heel for Lawrence. So I'm interested to see if Houston can upset them. What is this point spread?
1.5. Houston's getting 1.5 at home. I'm going to take Jacksonville. They were humiliated. They're a talented team. They're going to go on the road and win by 10. It's just my opinion. I like Jacksonville to rebound. If not, Jacksonville's done. Because Houston's good, but they're not. Come on now. Let's get a little carried away. There's a lot of easy games after this one. They ain't winning this one. That's my opinion. You watch, they'll blow them out. But I like Jacksonville.
All right, so the next one that we have,
Cincinnati at home getting a point. 1.5 against the Steelers. That just shows you Joe Burrow's out for. I feel so bad for the Bengals. Yeah, because they were playing so good a couple weeks ago.
You would easily gave this to the Bengals if Joe Burrow was in that lineup. You're like, okay, I don't even flinch about this matchup. But now I got to give it to Pittsburgh, just because I think Cincinnati's going to be a little lost. They're going to try to figure out their identity without him. And it's going to be rocky. Even if they decide to push a nice victory at the end to get a playoff push, I think they're going to struggle a couple of games just trying to find their identity.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's Cincinnati's backup? Do we know?
Wasn't that Brownings?
I don't know.
Brownings?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati at home just because Pittsburgh stinks. They have a good defense, but I just think Cincinnati is going to be able to carry this game, in honor of Joe. The Steelers fired Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator. I don't know that he was the problem. So whatever.
It's kind of like the offensive coordinator for the Bills.
Give me the home team in a crap game if I have to pick a side. The next game is Atlanta Falcons at home. This game has been all over the board. They went from a 1.5-point favorite to that's basically where it's at. It's a -1 type situation. So it's a point game against the New Orleans Saints. So
I would probably put my money on the Saints. Man, it's just
ugly game.
It's an ugly game. It's I could see either one of them blowing out the other one. I could see it being a close game. So yeah, this is just what happens in this matchup. Because if you did this game 10 times, each outcome would be totally different.
Yeah, exactly. This is a coin flip, people. This is stay away from this game.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going with the Saints, and the Saints keep not looking good. So I don't know who's quarterbacking. I think if it's Winston, I think the Saints win. Honestly, if it's Derek Carr, he doesn't look good at all. So give me Atlanta, but I really don't know who's quarterbacking.
I don't think they know. All right, guys, we're gonna flip a coin before we go out there.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's a shit show game. Moving on, we got Indianapolis Colts -2.5 at home against Tampa Bay. So
you think Tampa Bay is going to be embarrassed and come out, or you think they're just flat-footed and you know?
I think Tampa's going to play. I think Mayfield's a gamer.
I think I would pick Tampa. I would pick
if
Tampa.
I had to take a shot, give me Tampa. I think the Colts are cooked. So give me Tampa. I don't know why. Just give me Tampa.
See, the Colts right now, to me, could be one of those teams that are lingering at the end that spoils somebody getting into the playoffs. So they could linger enough to be a threat. This could be one of those games that they could sneak. I think, Tampa obviously could be one of those teams that drops out of the playoffs that you're just like, okay, yeah, that was a stinky year. Man, I got to go Tampa on this one, but I could see the Colts winning this. So.
Yeah, this is another crap game.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move on to the next one. The New York Football Giants at home getting 3.5. Now I don't understand this. The Giants just went on the road and smoked the Commanders. Now they're home getting 3.5 against the 2-8 New England Patriots.
I think as the Patriots, I think it's gonna get worse for them. Because I think they could lose this one to the Giants. Like right now, I think the Giants could run that wave a little bit.
The Giants win this game.
Yeah, it just makes it worse for what the Patriots are going through. And is it you're looking forward to the draft picks? But yeah, I would say Giants maybe.
Yeah. All right, moving along here. Tennessee Titans are a 3.5-point home favorite against the visiting Carolina Panthers. We just saw the Panthers. I'll go first. Give me the Titans to roll in this game. Loyal Cowboy agrees. Titans have been underwhelming, but I think Carolina they're just a young. We saw what they were. Give me the Titans.
Man, I'm going to go then upset. I think I'm going to go Panthers on this one. I'm going to go Panthers. I think they get it together at least for a week. If not, Tennessee throws the game away. So I think they could get their second victory because they're actually still trying. I think some of these other teams aren't. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go Panthers on this one. This is weird.
Very weird. It's weird. We'll get moving along here. We got a few more, actually. Jeez. Arizona Cardinals at home. This game's been all over the map here. Basically,
oh my God, it's a terrible game, man.
Arizona +1 against the Rams.
I'm gonna go Rams on this matchup.
The Rams.
I don't feel confident saying it, but I'm gonna go Rams.
No. Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the Rams. I think the Rams have better coaching, and I think they I don't know.
Just a little bit better of a roster. Just
Yeah.
it's they know how to use their players a little bit more. I can see Arizona doing some stuff just because you got a guy that likes to run around like crazy. But I think the Rams have a little bit more together. So
Yeah. Moving along, we go with the Denver Broncos. The streaking Denver Broncos ever since they gave up 70 points to the Miami Dolphins.
really,
Denver's been
when
playing
you really
better.
look at it, ever since they traded off Randy Gregory,
Yeah.
they started playing way better.
Yeah, it's weird how that worked out, right? But Denver minus 1.5 to 2, but we'll go 1.5 against the Cleveland Browns, the Deshaun Watson less Cleveland Browns.
They're winning though, man. That's what's
They are
crazy.
winning. I know this is a real tough one because
I want to pick
wasn't
Denver at
re-
home. I want to
yeah.
pick Denver at home.
Yeah,
I could see Cleveland winning it, but I'm going to pick Denver at home. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Denver. I think Cleveland loses this one with they have the rookie QB who's playing well, but to go into
Mile
Denver,
high, yeah.
and
Breathing and all that. Yeah, you get tired.
yeah, I think that's a tough one. I think Russell Wilson, he's starting to. He looks actually half decent. So yeah, give me Denver. Lay the 1.5. That's nothing. So that's what I would go with. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders +9 against the upset, mad, hurting, the Tay-Tay-less Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going to have to go weirdly enough with the Chiefs on this one.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I don't see this thing is they don't seem to beat up on the ones they should either. They struggle in general, kind of moving their offense. So, I'm gonna still go Kansas City, but even with the Raiders and how they've been playing with that attitude, I can see them doing some damage to them, but I still can't see them beating the Chiefs. So, I'll pick the Chiefs on this.
Here we go. Our Eagles fans are gonna be mad at me here. But we got the Philadelphia Eagles, a 3.5 to 3.5 point favorite against the Buffalo Bills. What says you, Phil?
I would go Eagles on this one. Buffalo looks so lost. Again, Buffalo has the ability to just turn it on, and they can just drive it on you, and then running the ball like crazy. So yeah, they have the rest of the ingredients to do damage and make a nice little bomb together. But no, I just see them still struggling, especially when you give this Philly team any kind of struggles. They tend to take advantage of it. So it's hard to bet against that. So I got to go Eagles on this.
And I will take the opposite. I actually like Buffalo, and I like them big. I like the Bills by 10. I do. I like the Bills to win the game. I think the Bills match up good with the Eagles. The one thing Bills do, they throw the ball all over the yard, and Josh Allen will run you over.
My pick on the Eagles is definitely not the stronger team. Buffalo disappoints me.
I agree with Brad. I think Diggs goes off. Gabe Davis. They have really good tight ends. I just like Buffalo. I'm telling you, that weather helped the Eagles, and shout out to the Eagles. They won the game. But like I said in my live today, they have spent they're cats. Right now, they just spent their 9th live. They got no lives left. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. They're walking around. I mean, they're playing with, horseshoes up there. Those good luck horseshoes up there, Keister, because every time they fumble, it pops right back to them. Anytime they play teams, they're dropping touchdown passes. Did you watch the game the other night, Phil?
No, I only got to see the highlights. I was busy
there
for
was
my
2
birthday.
dropped touchdown passes. One at the end of the game. You did see that one, right?
Yes, I did.
I mean,
Yeah, if
Come
you're gonna
on,
get
I mean,
lucky anytime that they drop a touchdown pass, that is some luck right there, man.
Jesus.
And sometimes you got to be lucky,
like
man.
the Bills, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is, man. We'll see what happens. If I had to take it, give me the point. I'd definitely take the 3.5 points. You know, if the Eagles want to win a close one. If Eagles win, they'll win a field goal game and do what they did.
If Buffalo shows up and actually plays their game, then yeah, I would give it to Buffalo. But I have yet to see that, other than early in the season. But you know, they seem so lost right now, and you know, I'm interested to see what happens with Buffalo.
Well, if you were that good, Twiz, you wouldn't be a field goal favorite at home against a bad team, right? If you're that dominant, why are you only a 3-point favorite against an AFC team? If it's not like it's Dallas, right? You weren't even a 3-point favorite against Dallas. You were a 2.5 point favorite against us. So, you know, I'm just telling you, you'll see. Don't believe me. We could disagree. I think the Bills win the game. Bills are desperate.
See, we're not
I think the Bills probably beat Dallas in Buffalo.
Yeah, I could definitely take
everybody,
that.
Everybody, you know, just saying how bad Josh Allen is. You're showing turnovers.
He's good
okay,
in Buffalo.
We'll see. We'll see. The dude is talented, and you know they have a talented roster. They got to get their act together. Is what they got to do. Now, where do they sit in the division? Let me look. How far behind Miami are they? They're one game or they're 2 in the loss column behind Miami. So Miami's 7-3. Buffalo is 6-5. Buffalo is in a must-win, dire straits. You got the Buffalo head coach coming back home to Philly. Who's that? Sean McDermott. So, give me the Bills. All right? Talk to me on Sunday. I like the Bills.
All right. So
moving on to the next game. The Chargers plus 3.5 at home against the Baltimore Ravens. The Chargers have fallen off. They have fallen off.
I don't see it getting better.
Last in their division, behind the Las Vegas Raiders at 4-6.
Yeah, I think Baltimore. I don't even see. I can't see it. You know, I can see a way of them struggling, and you know, Lamar goes down or something like. Even with that, I think Baltimore can still take on the Chargers. So I mean, it's just even with bad scenarios, Baltimore is just a better team than the Chargers, and where the Chargers would have been a contender earlier in the year, they just fallen, just so far from grace. Really, they were given a lot of credit, but man, it is not doing it.
Yeah, did you see the head coach for the Chargers, Staley, go off on the media? Because they asked him, they said, "Do you feel confident? Are you confident?" You know, he's like, "Yes." You don't have to answer that.
Oh, you don't have to ask.
I call the plays on defense
questions anymore. Yeah. I saw that part. Yeah, that's funny.
All right, getting to the last game, non-Cowboys, is the Monday night game. Minnesota Vikings at home, minus 3.5 against the Chicago Bears.
I'm going to go
Vikings
Bears.
At home against the Bears.
I'm going to go Bears with an upset then.
The Bears.
I think the Bears are playing better football right now. They're getting, they're getting their main guy, DJ Moore, involved into the offense. They're not just, he's... Again, they're not going off and scoring crazy points, but they did go toe to toe with Detroit. So I mean, you got to kind of like wonder, hey, what are they? They're figuring stuff out in their offense. Obviously, their defense is where they kind of like they're terrible. But Minnesota, again, they're still trying to find their way offensively. So I'm going to go Chicago with the upset then.
Yeah, and I could see that possibly happening, but I'm going to stay with the home Minnesota Vikings. The Josh Dobbs has got them rolling. They should have won the game in Denver. They controlled most of the game. But yeah, I like the Vikings at home on Monday night.
It's just which team plays better. Yep.
Yeah, I know. It could go either way, but good game. I like that matchup. Yeah, there's not a lot other than the Eagle game. Ravens, Chargers, we know what's going to happen there. Cleveland, Denver could be entertaining just because it's close. Everything else is crap all the way down the line, other than tomorrow's games. You got the 4:00 game and the 8:30 game are great, and then you have the Eagle game on Sunday, and that's really about it. And then the Monday night game. So that's really about it. I'm with Glimmerman. Brian, do you and Phil keep track of who gets it right on the
Well,
games?
you know what? You know, it's funny. We do look at it, and we're 50-50 either way. Even when we pick the same, like either way, it kind of divides evenly. It's weird. That's why I think it's funny, because we this time we picked a lot of different games, but I'll still be right half the time, and he'll be right half the time. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying go out and bet. So that's just,
yeah, we didn't give you it
there. I mean, I got news for people. Betting NFL these days is not the way to go. Not with the way these refs and how these games end. I can't tell you how many games I saw that the last play, of a game that's not winnable, the last play of the game may change the victory. It's just very sketchy to me. I work too hard for my money to bet it. Yeah, Brad, I wouldn't do that, my man. Lord have mercy. But yeah, so
all right,
that's it, man. That's our picks. Oh wait, we got another one, don't we? We got another one.
We come back all the way around, and of course we're back on Thanksgiving Day, where we're eating, or we've already eaten. So are you guys more of the later eaters, or do you get it? You're able to get it done at 2 o'clock.
I'm eating at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Like, he has it all planned. I got it scheduled. It's like people are. I got to do not disturb on my email.
Here's the deal. It was a trained thing from when I was just a young lad. My Italian mother, we would eat early. Why? We would eat early so then we could bring out round 2 about 7 o'clock at night, where we bring out the food again and have the turkey sandwiches and all that. See, my mother was good for you eat, you take a tiny break, you hit all the desserts, then you go do your thing, you have you fall asleep or whatever it is you do, you watch the games, and then all of a sudden everybody ends up back in the dining room for round 2. I don't do that anymore, but that's how it used to be. So that's why I like to eat early.
When I had a fast metabolism, yeah, I totally understand that. I would run out. I'd go run outside, play for a while, and then come back ready to go.
Anymore, I like to eat at 3 o'clock for this reason. I like to eat and get my food in me before I watch the Dallas game and they upset my stomach. Because then I won't want to eat, and then I'll be upset. But I'm not worried about tomorrow, but I will keep my tradition and eat at 3 o'clock, be able to digest before the game comes on.
All right, so I guess we're going down and getting ready for our predictions. There were some in the chat that predicted them earlier. You're more than welcome to bring them back up. I'm going to highlight them. So what do you think, man? What do you think? I want to see scores in the chat. So here we go. So this is kind of where I go. I thought each week I always have this prediction that Dallas is going to start off slow. They're going to take a drive or two before they pick it up, and I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening this week. All of a sudden, something stupid could happen where they get a score out of nowhere against the defense, because that's what Dak likes to do on these type of games where you're going to we're predicted to blow him up. Then all of a sudden Dak throws an interception and he goes for a pick six.
Scared.
What's that?
Royals is scared.
No. It could be a closer game, but see, that's where I was kind of.
Get the line real fast. The line is Dallas. It opened up at 11. Dallas, then it went to 12.5. It is now sitting at 13.5, minus 13.5. Dallas at home against the Washington left hand up Commanders. So 13.5, people.
Yeah, so anyway, so what I think that's going to happen is this offense is going to be able to get out and really kind of, play into what Washington loves to do. They love to throw the ball. Now, they should run the ball. Everything, says that they would be very, victorious if they actually did that, but I don't think they will. I think Sam Howell's going to have a hell of a long day. I think our guys could probably get a couple of interceptions, if not a couple of, definitely some sacks tomorrow. It's just I'm interested to see how that offensive line for Washington holds up. But I see us getting out on like a 2 to 3 touchdown lead and really not, relinquishing it. Just, something could happen here or there, and I think Washington will score. Because I think Dallas's defense, even though they're getting up after them, I think there's gonna be some times where they're over aggressive and they can throw a screen over or something's gonna happen there. Where I saw the score being at the end 42-16, I think right now, even as they score at the end, Washington gets a little cheap score and it ends up being 42-23 with some scoring, and you kind of and you still question the defense a little bit. But they give you enough, sacks and interceptions or fumbles or whatever to kind of forget about how many points they allowed up.
Okay, Loyal, I got you. Yeah. I think we can score at least 5 touchdowns tomorrow. I think it's a track meet. I do think Washington is going to score. But I think they get a late touchdown. But this may not be enough points, honestly. If I had to say, this may not be enough points. I think the 5-0 might be in order tomorrow. But I'm not going to predict 5-0 because that's bad luck. But here's what I'm going to go with, okay? I'm going to go with this. I like a blowout. I think Commanders get a late touchdown to kind of make it look like, oh, okay, we played, right here, baby. This is it. Cowboys 44, Commanders 17. So I'm looking at 5 touchdowns, which would be 35. Yeah, I don't know how I got to 44 because I figured 35, 60, 44.
There's a safety in there. There's a couple of things.
Like 3 field goals. I think I'm telling you, I think we have it, like a fumble return for a touchdown. So take the Cowboys minus the 13.5 and the over and the 48.5. There's no way there's not a lot of points scored. Dallas is scoring. It's just whether we're going to keep Washington down. And if the Giants can keep them down, we sure as hell can keep them down, especially when we're what? We've won our last 12 at home or 13.
Almost 12.
Yeah,
12.
So they are rolling at home. Take Cowboys says 49-3. I think we'll give up some points just because it's the Commanders and everybody's up on Thanksgiving, but not much. I think we score early and often. It could be worse than that, but I'm going to stick to 44-17.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Either way, good.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good. I mean, that's, where I started off where I was with Loyal Cowboy, where I thought the game was going to be a lot closer. I'm like, okay, rivalry games, they're going to be up. It doesn't matter what really happened. I think they really tried against the Giants, and I think the Giants just manhandled Washington.
48-10. I like it, Jeff.
So, I mean, to me, I think it's another one of those games. I mean, they might be up for the challenge, and they're like, okay, we got to put it to them. But I think they're just really, really fall short. I think that's just kind of what this team is. Obviously you can change depending on what you do to the roster, but like we've said it before, I think this defensive line is playing a lot better with the 2 stars out because now you're getting these other guys rotate in the rotation. Hopefully, the contracts being off the books that'll help them. They'll have to eat something out of that, but I think it was great moves by them. Their offense, man, right now is just atrocious, and it can score. Our normal guys is Diggs, that's always on their wide receiver. Is Bland that guy to cover him? Do you think that?
Yeah, I would say Bland is definitely the guy that's going to cover him, but a lot that takes. They like to move around McLaurin, you know that, but McLaurin hasn't played that great this year.
I think his speed
like
could be a
Curtis Samuel
problem.
better.
Could be a problem
And the
if you
tight
go.
ends.
Yeah, if you're putting somebody like Gilmore on him, I think that could be the problem for the offense with his defense and secondary. I think everybody matches up very well, but I think with that, any kind of speed across dragging, I think that's always the question mark that we have, especially with Gilmore. I love him in the matchups everywhere else, but it's those drag routes and he's having to go against speed guys. So, Lady Lever, I like it.
Yeah, I like JoJo. Giants played man high and zone underneath. I like it. It's like the Madden Clouds. We're playing the cloud defense.
They do love to play man, and they're really good at it as well too. But I again, this
Brad,
our wide receivers are really ridiculous. So
if Bland gets another pick six, then that might that's crazy. That's great. I love it though. I think so. Yeah, I think we get a special team score, whether it's a blocked punt for a touchdown or punt return. I think we get a special team score. I think Pollard has a big game. I just think you got the kettle, the curse, the main thing. The curse has been lifted. The gods. They're
listening.
The light to shine down on our team again because Jimmy's going to be in the Ring of Honor.
That's huge. That is huge. Trust me, we were saying that for a while. I thought it was going to be years before we even saw this. So the fact that they have a date, it wasn't one of those things where he just says it and he walks away. You're like, okay, we'll win.
30th.
When's it going to happen?
We ain't
now
losing
you have
that
a date.
game now. There's no way in hell we're losing that game.
See, Brad Harris, I believe in that one. I don't know if it's going to be this game, but he does another one by the end of the year. I definitely could see that.
That's crazy. I just see it like a special team score. I see a fumble return. I see 14 defensive/special team scores. I see 5 touchdowns. So that's why I said that 50 number keeps popping in. But out of bad luck, I don't like to say that. I don't like to say 50. So we're gonna go 44, but 51 sounds awful nice. But I'm sticking with 44. Yeah, I think it's a big game. That's why I said I think Riverboat is let go not right after the game, but on Monday, he'll be home with the fam, and that's good for him. I think he needs to move on. He's had his bout with cancer, and he's had it rough, and I think he's not as sharp as he once was. Man, I've never seen a team. They should have won both Philly games. I mean, I hate to say it, and I'm not crapping on you Phillies, on the Eagles, but if you watch the game, they should have won them both. They should have won for 2 in the first game instead of going to overtime. And then the last game, they didn't challenge that blatant drop. It was just like, man, it's nuts. So that's why I said everything's going the Eagles' way. But
so, Brian,
how that goes.
Tomorrow, are you going to be live streaming during the game?
I'm going to try to, yes. I'm going to get up and I'm going to get my turkey in, and then I'll get a game plan. But look for me to live stream the Dallas game. Yes.
So, I was just letting you guys know. That way you guys can tune in. I am going to be doing a lot of stuff with the family. So I will we'll be back, basically Friday? Or should we just go for the Saturday for the post after?
Whatever you want, man. I'm off till Tuesday, so
okay.
You figure it out, man.
All right, sounds good. I think we do Friday. Let's go for Friday. Just get it over. I would say get it over with, but let's get it out of there. That way, it's fresh. Just like this one. Like we were talking about hey, are we gonna talk about the Panthers game? I'm like, I had to sit there and go, who the hell did we play last? It was like,
really.
That's not how long ago.
Well, that's
it felt.
why I love this time of year because we always play these 4 games in 18 days. Usually, that's what it's been the last few years, or 4. So it's an opportunity. It's a lot of games. It's an opportunity to pile up the wins, and we're home. We're home for the next.
We're gonna need them. We're gonna need them for later that stretch,
baby.
Because the stretch at the end definitely gets harder. Brian, you want to say anything to the chat before we get out of here?
Yeah, well, I want to say thanks for his supporting us thus far. I really appreciate everybody. We have a good following. We hope to grow it, obviously, but we really appreciate you men and women who take time and show up, show after show after show. So obviously, I'm thankful for my family, but I'm also thankful for everybody in here that has given us their time, and that's all I could ask. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy what me and Phil are doing, because we enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm like trying to give everybody their kind of like their highlight here, just
Yeah, it's awesome. I really, obviously we break stones with the Eagle fans, but at the end of the day, it's going to be settled on the field. It ain't going to be settled by Gametime's comments or Primetime's comments or Twiz's, 16-1. Or it's going to be settled on the field. The Eagles Dallas game was very good in Philly. You know how we felt about it, but it came down to the wire. Dallas was at the 6-yard line with 21 seconds to go to win the game. We didn't get it done. We will see them again in 3 short weeks. I look forward to it, but we need to get to there.
Yeah.
To have it mean anything.
Yeah, can't really worry about what's going on with the rest of the guys. We got to take care of our own business.
Take care of ourselves. Yep.
And honestly, we've had our moments. I remember some of those years where we have struggled at those Thanksgiving Day. I'm like, Thanksgiving we normally handle business, and then when there was definitely those years where we could not do anything. And Washington was definitely one of those teams that was handing us losses on the Thanksgiving. I remember it clearly with Jason Garrett. So now basically everything's kind of just shifted a different direction where we're really being able to play the bully in the situation, and that's what they'll call it. They'll call it bully ball. So it doesn't matter what you do. If Washington makes it a close game, they won't chalk that up to a division game. They'll chalk that up to, hey, is Dallas struggling? So they really need to come out here, take care of business on a game that everywhere in every matchup mostly, kind of pushes over to the Cowboys side, and so they really need to be able to win their one-on-one matchups, and if they do that, then yes, this is where that score can get really ridiculous. So I look forward to seeing and hopefully talking about a Cowboys victory when we come back. But Bryan, what do we? I gotta find my bell. Sorry, man, I was totally unprepared. I appreciate you coming through and being a part of everything, but one thing I appreciate everybody not forgetting to do is do what?
Always ring that bell, Phil.
Thank you very much, man. You guys take care.
Hey!
Happy Thanksgiving.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
What you do, you're like a little screw loose type of guy, and that's how I am. So I'm digging it, big guy. I am.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
Gametime Bryan, otherwise known as the mailman here.
Cool name. Superpowers?
Broadcasting from the illustrious Jobu Studio.
Come on, are you going to tell me who that is?
Primetime Phil, and of course my co-host, Gametime Bryan.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this place is going to explode. $100,000, I don't even need to hear it.